Big up, big up, big up, and welcome to Liverpool 12th Man Show. We are here for a little bit of gloating, a little bit of popping our collars like 3-6 Mafia, and also some ratings, some reviews, just some casual talk. And we got a good panel together. We got JK, we got Lee, we got Nolante, and of course, most importantly, we have you in the audience that are going to be joining us. All important, our mighty Reds in the audience. It's always important to be a part of this. You know what I mean? We are 11 points clear, as Red Armchair supporters saying, big up to Cedric as well, Ref for Life. And yeah, just feeling a little bit of the shine. Sun is shining bright today type thing. What Ref for Life says. Maybe think of like little Bob Marley's, in the background. And yeah, it's where it should be. It's where it should be. I think we're top of the league. We've been for the entire pretty much. I don't think we've been not top of the league. We've been top of the league the entire year, right? And
Yeah.
and it's been really like never really looking back. And it's definitely something great to experience. I saw a lot of people on a lot of different channels talking about our game and trying to speak on some of the subjects and the likes. And what was very, very funny about it was, on some of the rival, if not like neutral channels out there, they were trying to they had some of the Manchester City supporters on there, and they kept talking about, the significance of this game and everything else. I was trying to emphasize the fact that we not only beat Manchester City yesterday, but this is a double in the year in this year. And not only is it a double, it is a double where Manchester City went scoreless against us. That is a big, big, big sign and accomplishment by a team that what I'm going to show you shortly was not picked by many to do well, if at anything even contend for this league. So shout out to the past administration that was a part of this, your Schmackies and your Klops and the likes. I know that's not going to be taken on with a warm embrace by some, but also big shout out to those that picked up the reins and continue to march this cart forward, and that is Slot and his team, and the guys that are still holding it down for us right now and getting us closer to realizing something that a lot of us certainly have been close to witnessing quite a few times, but have come short. And this time, looks like we're going to get across the line. So Brian has joined us too as well. So I'm going to bring in the guys to just have their own opening comment or say hello to the chat too as well. Big up Edward, by the way. JK, how you doing today? How you feeling?
All good, bro. Happy weekend. If I rewind the clock back to Friday evening, what the vibe was, mans were nervous because of our past displays in the past months, and coming to Monday now. It's one of them. Oh, yeah. That's why sometimes, bro, predicting football is a hard one. Arsenal, for me, could have gained 3 points on us this weekend. And what happened was we gained 3 points. We've got 3 points more than them. And it's as simple as that. And that is, for me, the world of football. That's why I love football. It don't go the way it should do sometimes. Even though we played a poor sort of Man City team, I think we still did a good job, top display after so many bad games, I would say. But all in all, bro, I think after that West Ham result on the Saturday, when I was with Brian, Lee, and Alante, we were doing a show, and it was on in the background, bro. Ever since that final was blue with that game, I've been feeling this pressure just release. I'm telling you, it just like, wow.
Yeah, it just kicked the weekend off in grand style, didn't it? That
big time,
West Ham victory at Arsenal. It just set us up perfectly for yesterday's game. And it meant that, we could have drew and we wouldn't have been like, oh, God, it really cost us. But, as it happens, we actually won and our 11 points clear.
Yeah.
I could see if we'd be 15 points clear if Michael Oliver wouldn't have stepped in the derby. And then, we could have won the Villa game late on as well, like, couldn't we? A few times or at different times in the game. But I blanked the Villa game from my mind mostly, like.
I've just finished off with we control the game without controlling the game.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, agreed. Well, since Lee, you chimed in too, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Really good.
Shout out to the chat for everyone.
I'm wondering what sort of performance Newcastle are going to, what sort of game plan, how it's going to have is the better way to word it rather than what sort of performance we'll get from them. I want to know, wondering how we'll go about it. Like, they don't have a good record. They don't have a good record at Anfield. To be honest, they don't even have a good record at St James's Park against Liverpool.
So. No, they don't. We've had our head-to-head matchup against Newcastle has always been in our favor. Certainly.
Oh yeah, I feel a bit sorry for their fans in that, because if I was a Newcastle fan, it'd do my head in that we always got beat by Liverpool. If there was a club that always beat Liverpool, it'd annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, there isn't a club that always beats Liverpool, but for Newcastle, we are just out that. We are a bogeyman for them, like.
Right. Agreed.
And Newcastle looked defensively poor. I watched them yesterday against Forest. Not great, bro. So for me, we should do them properly on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, Nolante, how are you feeling today? Give a shout out to the chat for us. Tell us how you're feeling. Oh, maybe. I see you're off mute. So, well, while we wait for Nolante to get his microphone situated, I'll ask Brian the same question and give a same request actually to give a shout to the chat for us and tell us how he's feeling. Hopefully, well.
Yeah, doing good. Good to see everybody in. Cedric and Red for Life, Edward, Red Armchair, all the usual suspects. Hi, Laura, Cedric. Yeah. Oh, not too bad. Yeah.
Definitely. So how can you not be top of the league, brother? Top of the league, right? So, shout out to High Lord. Shout out to let's see who else I haven't said hello to. I think that's the only people that have joined that have chimed in at least. I see that we do have more than have chimed in. Some are just chilling in the background. So big up to those that are just chilling, maybe listening along, whether you're in your car, or maybe at work or something. Big up to everyone, and big up Michael Corleone, LFC. Yes, we definitely are. We're at the all-you-can-eat buffet, definitely for sure tonight. Anything goes, everything. Yeah, go back for seconds as many times as you want. It was something too. This is a question. Hyler's bringing up real quick before we dive into the episode here. Question of the evening to everyone who saw the Liverpool match: how many different styles of football did Slot use during the match? I think if anyone saw the interview, I'm not sure which interview was broadcast on your side of the pond or whatever, but Curtis Jones got to be interviewed at the end of the game. And
check.
Yep. Big up.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
okay.
I was just going to say, Curtis Jones got interviewed at the end of the game, and it was an interesting interview because I'm trying to think of who conducted the interview. Michael Owen was a part of it. McManaman was there, and I forget his name. He played for Manchester City. He was a defender. Won 2 titles with them too.
Richards?
No,
Rico?
it wasn't. It was, what is his name? It's in the back. It's like on the tip of my tongue, like type thing.
Won 2 titles with them.
He won 2 titles with him. I know that.
Sabi Alonso?
And he's got a little birthmark like on his.
Yes, let's go.
Let's
go.
Yeah. That's it. And then they had their, the regular host there, and he was asking questions. It was funny because Curtis Jones got to speaking about how He was speaking on the goal that was rolled out for him, and what was funny about it is, he goes, "Hey, when I get asked to when I get asked to be the number 9, I do number 9 things." That's
Is that what he said?
I was like, okay, you go, Curtis. Like, brush your shoulders off. I got you.
Yeah, because if you notice, bro, in the game, he was the first guy doing the press, and he does that all the time. He's the number 1 guy at the top.
Yeah.
So even though we never played with the 9, he was sort of filling that. He does that anyway. He likes to press from the front.
Yeah, he does. He and like I was saying yesterday, even in the the viral match reaction, him and Dom were basically, as Brian pointed out too, it was like kind of like floating 10s, I guess, or advanced, or even want to call it maybe even advanced 8s, but like for the most part, if you look at the heat map, was Dom was playing that 9 role, and Curtis every once in a while pushed it into the role himself, and it was an interesting, goes to what Hyler was just speaking on. That's the reason why I was bringing it up, is that it was a different game plan than we've seen before, with this team. We've seen many different, constraints of what Slot wants to do with the lineup. Sometimes it doesn't work out to what we would like to see. But more times than not, it does. Obviously the results of this year. And yeah, yesterday, it was very, very interesting in a game where we had maybe 1/3 of possession, in a game where, we had half the shots that they did. We still had a well diagrammed set piece off a corner, and then we also had a very, very well taken goal from Mohamed Salah to Dom for that really, really nicely taken goal, where it actually ended up being a nutmeg. Actually, if you watch the goal back, it goes through the City's defender's legs before going into the goal. Well taken shot by Dom. Absolute G for sure. Getting a little props and praises. He'll be in, I'll give you a little spoiler alert, he will be in my player spotlight for tonight. So just so that you know. But yeah. Is there anything in the game that, like, what was your feel good? Let's do the feel good moments, I guess. We'll go Brian, Alante, Lee, and then JK this time. What were your feel good moments of this game for you? And you could tell us in the chat too. What was your feel good moment? There were a lot of them, actually. There were quite a few of them.
Who's first?
Brian was first, but I think he's got his microphone situated. Yes.
No, Lee, go ahead.
Okay, Lee, go ahead, Lee.
My favourite moment was my favourite move of the match, when Diaz broke on the left and then he cut across the face of the box, passed it to Mo. Trent went behind Mo. Mo played Trent in. And then Trent could have picked Diaz out because Diaz kept running, but he didn't see him, did he? And cut it back, and he just put like a sort of like, straight cross in, didn't he? And it got cut out for a corner. But that was the best move of the match, and that made me feel really good, because it just looked really good the way we done it to them. We just ripped them to fucking shreds.
Okay.
Only for swearing.
Yeah.
I just have to emphasise how sweet that move was to my eyes yesterday.
Okay. Milante, what was your feel-good moment yesterday?
The final whistle.
The final whistle. Well,
It's too many good moments to mention, but we're going to go in depth in the game. So I just said the final whistle. The fans, the fans in the corner, and the players playing, but there's calmness. The job's not done. As much as fans want to say, but yeah, you know what? I'll talk in there. So just the final whistle. Too many good moments.
Okay.
Too many much more.
Okay. JK, how about for you?
For me, it was when Curtis scored, and then when it got cancelled, he sort of G'd up the crowd. The players was like,
he still G'd him up. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I love the celebrations, mate. Yeah.
I love
Even though
that.
I got choked out, yeah.
Yeah.
Even Kanate doing a block, doing that tackle where he slid across. And
Yeah.
he sort of bigged up the crowd. I love that when a player does that.
Yeah. Always good to see it,
Yeah. Brian, what was your feel-good moment?
Same as Nolante, really. The whole thing. So just, yeah, same as Nolante, really.
Okay. Game, set, match number 20 coming home. Definitely. Big up, Chris. Big up, Chris Angel in the house. Hope you're doing well. Hope the family's well. Hope you're like water, calm like water. Let's see. I see Hyler's putting our quote in there. Big up Kevin, by the way. Big up Kevin as well. Big up.
Do you think City can be as good a team when Rodri comes back next season? Do you think they can be as good a team as they were when they won the treble? Or do you think that moment's passed for them? Do you think they can get back there with Rodri back in the side?
They'll get
As
back.
well as big as they were, or as good as they were as the treble. That's a good question. I mean, I think that there's so many components that have left that engine, or that, so many pieces that have been like siphoned out, and it'd be a different story if they were just like, minute pieces. They're important pieces. Let's not get twisted. KDB is a big piece. Gundogan is back, but he's not even close to the player that he once was. And I'm sure he'll be probably siphoned out.
Money on Nico Gonzalez and on Matthias Nunes from Wolves. So there's two midfielders they've got that aren't over the hill. KTB might be going, and maybe Silva, something like Gundogan, but they'll still be there, won't they? He's going to buy other midfielders probably in this summer, I would imagine. That's
the one thing I am worried about, is that especially considering how Manchester City, don't seem to care whether they're going to be found guilty or not, and they're certainly playing the part as if they're not going to be found guilty with their spending. They spent over 200. They were one and only real spender this January, and it's amounted to them, trying to basically hold on to a top four.
Mega Haaland deal, the bumper package for Haaland as well. Didn't they sign him for the next 2,000 years or something?
Yeah, exactly. About that, something around that number. Yep. And he's for lack of a better thought, he's on the sideline looking out in this game. So it is what it is with that. What are your thoughts in the panel to Lee's question? Anyone could just chime in.
Can City be strong again when Rodri's back, is what they were in their treble season, and they have been over the last 4 years, but they've won it 4 on the bounce. Can they be that strong again with Rodri's return?
Mm-hmm.
Under Pep?
No, City will be back, Lee. That's not too worried about it. They won't.
That. I'm wondering at what level. Will it be a level we can't compete with because he's got so much money and he'll just go? I mean, he might find backs as well. Somebody might look at his centre backs and go, "Fucking Stones and Diaz will never fit. I'll just go out and buy 2 outrageously priced, brilliant centre backs." We could do that as well, couldn't we? If they don't get punished, so it might be a hard slog for us next season, but we can do it anyway. A lot of something worked out for them. No, what people thought about City going forwards under Pep in the next 2 seasons under him.
Who, Manchiti? I heard that the other day. I couldn't stop laughing, bro. I was laughing. He come from a Man United fan, and he said it in one of his shows. Manchiti. Oh yeah, too funny. That was last night. We see that guy when he was doing the watch along. Man United fans are doing more watch alongs for our games than their own.
Yeah, they are. They are. They do these hate alongs, and then they cry at the end. Yeah, these cry at the end segments, and these downward depressive moments of their own. And it's why, it's so funny. So often you hear these. There were how many of these guys? And I'll let Nolante answer Lee's question directly. But I was going to say, how many of these guys do you see out there that are rivals, especially doing these watch-alongs, these hate-alongs, but are on these panels telling us, well, you know what you need to do with your team? Okay, bro. Tell us what we need to do with our team while your team sits in freaking 15th place.
Our fans were inspired voice yesterday, like in periods where they made sure to hide the telly up, like when our fans were singing to soak it in. And they did manage to rouse themselves, City, for a few barely audible, like lame renditions of Blue Moon, you saw me stepping the low. That's about as far as they got with it. Like, yeah, 3 times. That was all they could manage to rouse themselves for. But, yeah, it was good on all levels yesterday.
I like it. Look at who knew we were going to get a rendition of Blue Moon by Lee. All right.
Oh, he'd be dying to do that.
To do with them. I mean, that Beatles song they come out to, what's that got to do with them? It ain't got nothing to do with them. We come out to Never Walk Alone because Jerry and the Pacemakers recorded it. They didn't write it. We all know that. But they recorded it. It was in the charts of the Liverpool band, and we adopted it as our song. I mean, what the hell? What one is it they come back? Is it Get Back? No, it's Hey Jude, isn't it?
Hey Jude, yeah.
Hey Jude, yeah, so they can go, nah. Now, there must be a song by a Manchester band that has the same type of thing in it. Yeah, Oasis, like, ripping the Beatles off a lot. A lot of
the McAtees.
Yeah. A lot of the Oasis verses sound like that. Nah, 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 nah.
Na 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 Fosters, na 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 Candle Fosters, na 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 na.
Wow. Who knew American Idol would be a test? We got American Idol, we got or a Red's Idol maybe or something like that being done today.
Lee's winning that.
Yeah,
Lee's the main singer. He's a lead band. He's a lead singer.
Lee's got it. Lee's got it.
Yeah.
I like the one there. We are Liverpool. La, 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 la. We are Liverpool. La, la, la,
Yeah. Good tune. I put in the tune actually. I put in one early. Let me see if this one is, I think
that's a good one, yeah.
I like the Luis Diaz song.
The Luis Diaz song is actually one of my favorites. I know everyone knows I like Lucho as a player, but I mean, like, I think that is a catchy tune, and it's got a good beat to it.
And it comes from Liverpool, that bit, and everyone's like, yeah, man. Top,
I like that one. I like that one. But yeah, Nolante, did you want to say what you wanted to comment on whether you think City will be, really back and be a viable threat at the level that we've witnessed them at?
Yeah, very kind of you, Tough Man. And Red Armchair, big up. That's a great song. We'll leave that till May. And Red Armchair, you can sing that song. That's a great song right there.
I like
Blue
that
Falls.
one. Yeah.
Blue Falls, yeah, exactly. I'll do it.
Good one. I'll make sure that
Blue Falls, we left them sitting alone without a trophy this year, without a slot on your own. Blue Falls,
you got competition, bro.
We took you 2-0 again.
Just got more interesting.
We won the PL number 20 without a hope on your own. KDB, you are 33.
Oh, wow.
To Mo Salah, you dead. He laid you straight in your bed.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yowzers.
We got competition for Lee now.
Yeah. All right, now.
I think we started.
Brian's just getting his getting ready.
Yeah.
That's why he ain't said nothing.
Brian's gonna do a big one. We need to be silent for Brian's 5 minutes.
Pavarotti.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
It'd be frowned on now because it has rude words in it, but it was funny, that one, when I was a kid, the Ray Wilkins song. I've mentioned it before.
Yep. You were saying, Del Monte, do you want to speak on it or no?
Yeah, sure. I'll just briefly. I know.
That's kind of
Karaoke Mondays. Top name.
Right?
Top.
Yeah.
I like
that. I only get this once. No other podcast. No podcast will do it like us. On 12. Telebrand. Not right. And if she's Maya,
Oh, there you
wait.
go. Uh-oh.
Anyway, sorry, I'm done. We digressed again. But yeah, no. Back to Lee's thing. Look, no, City will be back. They won't do a treble. I don't think they'll do a treble thing. A treble again, that's a hard feat. But I think they will be back challenging. But again, it's very hard. It's someone who goes, who stays. There's a lot of questions for a lot of clubs, so it really depends. But they'll be back next season. For me, no word of a lie. Don't let's not get it twisted. It can happen. It can happen.
It can happen. That's the scary thing about it is it's the fact that their owners don't like losing. They like being in the limelight. They like being having the best team. Blah blah blah. And they will do whatever it takes to get there, whether it's allegedly cheating or not. I think personally. So yeah, they're never going to fully go away unless maybe we see some real gravitas by the league and by the administrative board or not administrative board, excuse me, the panel that is this judges that are concluding whether they are going to be held accountable for the allegations against them, and maybe that could do it. I think it would be noble if it happens, and I think it'd be even nobler if the championship says we don't want you in our league either. So I would say that too. They do not have to accept them, even though they get relegated. They do not have to accept them if they get relegated. So, but anyways, shout out to Anfield Roar. Big up. Big up for sure. Yeah, we're just sitting here, putting on the jukebox, putting on the Reds jukebox a little bit, and also getting ready for some fun part and points. I think I really wanted to start off, I guess, the conversation with something that I think is important to recognize, something that all of us, I think, were cognitive of yesterday, and that is we have a new entry into a player that's now tied with third place, actually, on the Liverpool top scorers of all time. And it is something of an accomplishment that's probably been, I wouldn't say not overlooked, but it certainly takes a little of a back seat, considering that we did get into a better position, obviously, to be able to win this league. So it's more on the team accomplishment and less on the individual accomplishment. But all the same, it is a major, major accomplishment for this player who basically, took on or is tied a player that actually is a beloved player in Liverpool's history as well. Certainly an amazing player as well, who was unfortunately taken away too soon in our lives at the age of 47. But Gordon was and is a Liverpool legend, and Mohamed Salah has now tied him on our list as a living legend, and as Kevin is saying, and is someone that is certainly on the pursuit of highlighting or improving on those that are doubters. Absolutely incredible player. There was something that was even beyond this. This is something that was so wild. These are the new records that he accomplished. First player in Premier League history to register 40-plus goal involvements in 2 different seasons, scored and assisted in 11 Premier League games this season, the most by a player in a single season in one of Europe's Big 5 leagues since Lionel Messi for Barcelona in 2014-2015 with his 11. First player in Premier League history to score an assist in both games against the reigning champions in a season. First player in Europe's top 5 leagues to be directly involved in 50 goals across all competitions in 2024-25. Provided more assists in 24-25 than any other Liverpool player has in a single Premier League campaign with 16, and was the first player to score 25 plus goals and register 15 plus assists in a Premier League season. Absolutely an absolute G. I mean, you look at this right here. These are just the accomplishments that he's had this year with his goals and assists. I mean, you look at what he's done against virtually everyone in the league, minus maybe Forest, Nottingham Forest. He's the only team he hasn't had a goal or assist against. And it is amazing what this guy has done this year. Absolute G of a player and an absolute blessing, considering, and this is another part and point. This is something that I heard Michael Owen speak on this, and he was doing it out of respect. I mean, Michael Owens is an absolute great in himself. He went as far as to say that Mohamed Salah was not looked at as a, top goal scorer at Chelsea. He wasn't looked at as possibly even the difference maker when it came to the players that were being brought in to our team when he got that move from Roma. And it was something of a lot of people's mindsets that even when he was at Basel, he wasn't looked at as being like some, virtual goal scorer or the likes. But this guy has just absolutely emerged into such an immensely incredible player. And it's possibly why you don't really hear him being mentioned. Shout out to Rebecca Lowe, who does like the lowdown on NBC or Peacock, actually, for the presentation of the Premier League here in America and abroad. And she was saying that he still does not get into her all-time 11 for the Premier League. And it's a tough conversation to have, but one that I think is
you can only have 11 players. If somebody doesn't want to pick him, that's their choice. Right? I can see him getting the second place. If he signs a new contract, he get into second place. The Rush one is 100 odd more goals in it, about 106 more goals is it to beat Rush. But he could definitely get into second place ahead of Roger Hunt if he stayed. And that would be something, because Hunt was a goal machine in Shankly's their side.
He was. But he is certainly of a player that has shown immensely incredible growth. And it goes to show, too, another part and point that I was trying to say as well is that Liverpool isn't necessarily a club that goes out and gets superstars. It's a club that creates superstars, and it's certainly an environment for these players. It's certainly a player that has been able to grow and develop into an absolutely global star and an absolutely a conversation starter, I believe, to have when it comes to whether you consider him to be an all-time great, whether you consider him to be possibly someone that could at least sit at that same table. That's all, I guess, your own personal preferences and your own likes, but and I'm sure they're weighed or biased in one way or another, but he is someone that I think is a viable candidate for that situation. Maybe does anyone else want to speak on some of those accomplishments? I mean, I could bring up the list again of those accomplishments. Absolutely incredible. And these are all things that he did basically yesterday in that game by having the assist and the goal in that game.
Yeah, it's all very well comparing like forwards goal tallies and that, but I'm not really one for comparing forwards, like just like, oh, is he better than him? Because they're all playing in different times, and forwards, a lot of forwards have different styles to each other. I'm not really into that whole thing of, is he better than him? Is he better than him? He's a very good player. You know what I mean? He's doing really well now. I just don't see the point of all that stuff, really.
Yeah. It's just something. Go ahead, Bri.
Yeah, no, it's just the one thing as well. I mean, Ian Rush is a striker, Roy Jones, striker. Those other boys, like on the other list, Aguero, maybe not so much, but he's not even a striker. The guy's not he's not in the same, what would you call it, like even capacity as some of those guys.
Yeah, the old strikers, like I'm talking about, they were like part of a 4-4-2, like Hunt and Rush to get their goals, played with a partner up front and had two wingers serving them. Mo is a winger. It's a very different thing these days, and to compare and all that, like in different eras and that, and different styles of play. Who was the greatest player? Like you can say who your favourite is, can't you?
Yeah.
Reasons.
What were you saying, Brian?
Yeah. No, it's just when you look at those other guys. Well, sometimes I know it's not. You're doing the all-time thing. Sometimes it's better just wait until someone's retired, because I mean, by the time he's retired, he could have
eclipsed a lot of other
40
people.
goals, another 40, maybe another 20 assists. Even if he slows down in his last two seasons, he could be up there. But yeah, as well, if you're kind of going with the inside forward, you're going old school wingers. He's kind of I'm not going to say he's redefined the position, because you had players, people like Aaron Robin, that that played wide and scored a lot of goals, but he's kind of he's raised it up another level. What you can expect from an inside forward like that. Normally you expect kind of maybe 14 goals for a really good one. Someone who isn't out and out number 9, does play through the middle. So he's kind of, and Robin will get like a lot of praise for kind of smaller numbers. But I think he's kind of redefined now what you can actually get from that position. I think it'd be very difficult for someone else to come along and do that, because they're not out there really. Yeah, it's insane, really, to keep going at that kind of pace and to get better. Like I hope it isn't my kind of theory at the start that he was going to kind of like, if this is my last season, I'm going to go out with one of my best ever seasons. I hope that's not the energy. But he seems to be looking at it that way. He's like, look, if this is going to be my last year, I'm going to win a league, and I'm going to put up every bloody record I can before I go, and I'm going to get as many of those goals chalked off, on that thing as I can, and see where I end up. So yeah, it's going down as definitely top 5. It's probably top 3 individual seasons already at this stage, and there's 11 games left to go, and he's already top 3 for individual seasons, I think.
Yeah, agreed. One of the best seasons you could ever ask for from a player that actually has definitely blossomed into an absolute incredible Liverpool legend, and also I'd say Premier League legend as well. Absolute beast of a guy.
Yeah, one of the other 5, by the way, is also him. If I was to make a list, three between 3 and 5 of the best individual seasons, if it was 5, it'd definitely be 2 of them, Mimo. So it's just crazy. Absolutely phenomenal.
For me, right now, the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Like, come on, bro. When you're a kid and you start playing football and you get better and you start playing for teams, and then you realize one day, I want to be the best in the world. And I think he's got that in him since he was young. Went to Chelsea, didn't really shine there, and then went a different way. Right now, the best player in the world for me. And for me, that's the dream of every footballer, to be what? The best in the world. And he's that right now.
Okay. Lante, you want to add something to that?
Mo's just like I said. Listen, man. Listen. Let's be real, guys, man. He ain't that good, is he? Yeah, he ain't that good. He really is not that good. He's a stat man. I mean, you wouldn't take
That
you
matter.
wouldn't take your kids to watch them, would you? I mean, boring, Mo. Honestly, man. I mean, honestly, one of the worst players in the Premiership. I mean, God, I'd rather watch Ngog or Andre Following, or better yet, Jimmy Traore. Some names to the past. If you know, you know who I'm talking about. I mean, that Mo. I mean, Egyptian king, best player in the Premiership. Nah, he can't dribble. He can't work hard. He doesn't have game intelligence. I mean, not good enough, is he? That's fine. It's only Mo Salah. Stat man, stat padder. Don't do much, does he, guys? Bit of a false stone. I mean, if we get rid of Mo, the world would be a happy place, wouldn't it? Have a little pussy.
Mm-mm-mm.
Like I
It's a
said, let the
very long
haters.
one-season wonder. It's a
Oh,
very
Brian,
long
isn't it? I
one-season
mean,
wonder.
ain't it? Exactly. You know, Akolani, yeah, don't score goals, don't do nothing, does he, Brian? Does he, guys? I mean, flipping hell, mate, I tell you. I mean, if chance was a fine thing, but let the haters hate and let Mo do what he does. Simple as.
Yeah. Understood. Again, I was speaking on some of the haters hating before, and then during our summer transfer window, and the likes. It's something I wanted to just bring up as well, as it's become certainly one of our cornerstones as to why we're having a good season this year. And there was a little summer transfer window that we had where we picked up these four guys in that window. And it could arguably say that all four of these guys featured in yesterday's match. It could arguably say this has been one of our best windows when it came to the players that we picked up and how each player has been a contributor towards us, towards our success this year and the year and the previous year before too. But especially this year, they have become certainly mainstays in the reasons why we could some, or at least I do regard them as, but some can regard them as possibly the best midfield in the league. You highlight that with like some of the parts and points or that were already a part of that midfield, like your Curtis Joneses and your Harvey Elliott's. And all of a sudden, you're looking at a very, very viable midfield. It's absolutely incredible because we've seen a lot of transformation in our midfield this season, and it's hard not to acknowledge the influence of, as I like to say, the influence of shout out to former sporting director Schmatke and our former boss Jurgen that had some faith and belief in bringing in Endo because that was one of Klopp's main asks.
He served his 20 minutes yesterday, didn't he? And he looks like he enjoys it.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna get higher.
Been a
More
big
into
in that, like for him to get on the pitch, like for 20 minutes was good. I'll give him a boost, won't I? So well deserved, like from all the stuff Slot was saying about him being such a great pro. We all made up to see him on the end, weren't we?
Yeah, that was the part and points I was going to bring up. Is that the window with obviously Alexi McAllister, Dominic Szoboszlai, Walter Endo, and Ryan Gravenberch have given us I would say, creative edge like never before, and I think that it's definitely given us a workhorse of a midfield that are very talented when it comes to their goal scoring abilities, but also just their work ethic and the workload that they will take on. And it is something of a team. Let me show you some of these great pictures, graphics I did put up because, whether it is Gravenberch, you see here this is a great picture, by the way. I mean, this is like the story of the night. I mean, whether it was whoever it was in the midfield, they were trying to swarm and try to snuff out our midfield because they knew that our midfield is the work engine of our team. This photo is from last year when some of us finally started to recognize the fact that this guy is an absolute warrior when it comes to the pitch. as everyone tries to hold back Endo. There is no holding back what is Wataru, because he definitely is someone that we're glad to see walk around that corner as a Liverpool Red. You could even add this picture. This is something that Brian and I have spoken on a couple of times, and that is the fact of, look, I almost want to hear him say, Adrian, because he is a battler. He is someone that is, goes into these games and just takes a licking and keeps on ticking. He is definitely our Rolex in the midfield. And as Alexi McAllister, who posted this on his own website, showing how, he is definitely someone that takes a beating, but he still puts every effort to make sure that we get across the line. And then finally, my player spotlight is on someone that, or maybe even my Team Capri Sun player spotlight will have to be on Dominic Szoboszlai. Yesterday, Dominic Szoboszlai got a goal and an assist yesterday. Absolutely a baller yesterday. I don't think that's not his girlfriend. So, but he definitely showing some love to the post there, love to the goal, as it would soon be a recipient of one of his goals. But absolutely, there is. Let me show you this. This is something I think I can show this because this was on someone's camera, but there was this as well. Make sure that there's no sound involved in it as well, just in case. That was Dominic Szoboszlai after the game.
Yeah, saw that.
Absolutely knackered. Just, gave his all. Like, if you don't think that these guys give their all, that they don't, really, really put everything they have out there. Dominic Szoboszlai, for those that want to talk about, he just runs around and he doesn't do anything. He's, as one particular content creator out there has put it, he's dirt. He's dirt or something to that level. Shame on you.
I love
This
the way
guy
you
is an absolute.
Named him 12th. Named him. Shamed him and named him.
Yeah, absolute monster of a shift yesterday for Dominic Szoboszlai. And if you don't want to recognize that, just pipe down a little bit and let those that really, really want to show appreciation for our players that really put in shifts and honor and really show the true merit of what it means to be a Liverpool Red. Those should step up and hold on to the mic, because realistically, Dom put in an absolute beautiful shift. Incredible. The assist, by the way, that assist that he had to to Mo, that was a well placed pass, by the way. Absolutely, it could have been the pass of the evening, I think, personally, because that was not an easy redirection to get it to Mo. Curtis spoke on the fact of how, like, in training, they had spoken on how he might be the guy. Mo was the guy that they drew up to take that shot, but Mo missed it pretty badly, apparently, in training. And it was Curtis who actually was the guy who scored in training from that. And you could see Curtis was an actual option to in case Mo couldn't get that shot off or wasn't going to be able to get to that opportunity. But yeah, I just can't stress enough about how it is something of how completely off the mark I think people are when sometimes they emphasize the efforts of players that just because they're not scoring or giving assists, as if they're non-contributors, as if they have no contribution on the pitch. And I think that, like, you got to look past that part of the game somewhat. There are other elements of the game that are important to highlight, important to recognize and acknowledge. And I think that Dominic has, like, shown his intelligence and positioning, his precise passing at times. as being the heartbeat of our build-up play, making all the difference when it comes to unlocking defenses, and sometimes and often as so setting up the pass that maybe the pass that creates the pass, or the opportunity that creates the opportunity for us. And it's something that I wanted to necessarily bring up and highlight, because he was a baller yesterday. But yeah, let me open up this panel discussion real quick and bring in the panel for some questions that I have here. And I'm going to ask, what was the pivotal moment in yesterday's match for you guys, and how did our midfield re-engineering influence that turning point, do you think? That midfield I just spoke on, how do you think they were an integral part of that turning point, that pivotal moment actually yesterday? I'll ask that to JK first.
Like when I seen the lineup before the game, I was worried about the midfield, how we've been playing recently. So Slot sort of switched it up after hearing our show, I think, in the last week or so. He went straight up with putting Jones in that midfield. That extra man in midfield sort of dictated how we were going to play. We weren't going with an attacking lineup. We were going with the lineup where we could handle whatever they threw at us. And I think Slot got it right. He needed to change. The midfield needed a change. Adding someone new to it wasn't the solution that everyone thought it would be. We thought Jones for, say, Szoboszlai would be that sort of change that we probably needed, or an Endo for Gravenberch. But he ended up doing an extra guy in midfield. It won us the game, bro. So for me, happy. The midfield needed that extra guy yesterday. I think that was a good sort of display of Slot seeing a problem and fixing it.
Okay. Lee, how are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I thought it worked perfectly all game. What we did all over the pitch, but mostly the midfield, it worked perfectly all game to keep them at bay, didn't it? The way we played. There were no scary moments, were there? Not one.
Okay. Easy said. Volante?
Yeah, I thought the midfield, it functioned well. We kind of held back a bit, I think, in terms of with the ball at times, but solid enough. We've done the structure to a T, and it worked.
Okay, it's easy said and done. Brian, your thoughts? Turning
pivotal
point?
moment. I see. We got the game that I was kind of hoping and praying for, which was the control game that didn't have any incidents in it. That wasn't a 4-3. That wasn't. There was no VAR. There was no yellow cards in that game. Not even one yellow card. No, there was no ref stuff. The game went real smooth. No controversies. No sendings off. None of that. And we just
Michael Oliver, listen up.
Obviously, a pivotal moment in a game would be obviously that people say, well, he scored the winner or he scored the first goal. So so there's your pivotal moment if you don't score that. But I don't think there was one. I think we put the chokehold on pretty much from the start, got our goals early, and there didn't need to be one, if you know what I'm saying. It was just so controlled. We didn't need to have a big comeback moment, Hail Mary touchdown pass, anything like that. We just walked it home the whole way. We had full control of that game, pretty much from minute 1
we had
to
over
minute
80
0. So
didn't we, from the moment we took the lead? But we never looked like we relinquishing it at any point, did we? The lead, and we had over 80 minutes to get through still when we went 1-0 up.
Well, that then goes. That's a good segue then, because my next question was, how do you rate our defensive performance yesterday, especially the contrasting roles of maybe our goalkeeper and our center back pair, as opposed to maybe our fullbacks yesterday? What would be your analysis of our defense? Was it a good game for them, or is it because I know some people were so heightened and so focused on how Doku, for instance, was putting Trent to the sword, how I really wouldn't say that Bravo had that many occurrences of the same on his side of the pitch. They were primarily more on Trent's side than it was on Bravo's side. But Bravo had occasionally one or two, because I know that I remember one particular challenge he made where he went out, he missed the challenge, and it ended up being fortunate that we were able to recover and not make anything out of it. But what was it? What was your defensive analysis yesterday, Brian? We'll start with you this time.
Yeah, well, they went. See, if you individually, a couple of them didn't have the best game, but as a team, we defended pretty much perfectly, so that when Trent did get beaten, or on the odd time when they went down Robbo's side, we were able to cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that probably VVD's best performance, which he was kind of saving up mentally wise.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was perfect. I think he was 10 out of 10. I think
Mm.
he was man of the match the whole lot. He was everywhere at the right time. Every time, someone popped up, it was him. And he knew what the game plan was. He knew how important it was, and he knew how big it was to have that kind of result there. And he was one of those kind of, this isn't happening on my watch, not today kind of performances. It was him back at his very, very best,
Mm-hmm.
Rebu the same. But yeah, on a couple of occasions, Trent had some issues, but as a team, I think BVD called it the perfect game. And I think we did. Yeah, absolutely perfect. But a couple of lads had some problems, but that's where their teammates stepped in and helped them out.
Mm-hmm.
And Ali had a
we
couple of things to do, and he did that too. So perfect across the board.
Defended good
Calm,
as a
real
team,
calm.
and that made it
Mm.
a fairly easy day for the defenders, didn't it? Like they went, like Trent had a little bit of a job on his hands with Doku, but it never went anywhere, did it? And I thought it was a good performance defensively. But that, like Brian said, that's because it was all over the pitch. We just didn't give them a chance to hurt us. That was the decent thing about it, wasn't it? To be in front for so long, like brilliant.
Right.
Great to score early. Very enjoyable.
Well, then, I see JK and Alante are on mute. So, JK, you wanna take a chance at that question about your defensive analysis?
Yeah, for me, bro, I've always said to have a good defense, you need a good midfield.
Right.
And when the midfield goes missing, more likely the defense is going to go missing. Having that extra guy in the midfield yesterday sort of gave the midfield a bit more weight, and that gave the defense a bit more weight. I think defensively, as Brian knocked the nail on the head, for me, Van Dijk was a colossus yesterday. Hence, even at his age, the best centre back in the world for me, bro. The way he played at the back yesterday, he just kept calm, kept everything in check. Did you notice how Virgil wasn't really involved in the game as much as, say, Kanate and, say, Trent were? Because he was just the guy, the gaffer. He was the gaffer, he was the boss. He was just sort of there at the right time when needed and stuff. Defensively, yesterday, a masterpiece. Good to see after so many games not getting a clean sheet.
Mm-hmm.
So getting a clean sheet, I said that yesterday, pre-game, that I love to see a clean sheet yesterday, and everything else is a bonus. So we got that clean sheet, and the 2 goals were a bonus. I also said 2-0. I was tempted with the 3-2. I just thought you had a 3-2 written all over it, considering how we've been playing. I think you went with the 3-2 as well, but the defense sort of stepped up and got the clean sheet we needed, and after such a long time.
Okay. I'm just thinking of what we should do first before we get into. I got a funny segment coming up, so hopefully you guys stick with us all the way to the end. We're coming up on the top of the hour, so we've got just got one more hour to do, but we should be able to get this done before it gets too late for some. That's true. No more. We did not have it. We had the proper Desmond Serban, I think. We had our 2 goals at Anfield and our 2 goals at the Etihad. That's how I look at it. That's the Desmond Serban that I want to hear. Zeros and zeros for them is what they ended up witnessing in their pursuits of trying to beat us yesterday. But we're gonna get through a quick little. We're gonna go through a quick little rating segment right here, and then we'll have a we have a little like brief banter and pundit shout outs segment after that. Surely we'll want to wait for that one. And then a little sneak peek at our upcoming opponent and what we have on the dockets for us this week for the channel. So let's definitely get involved and get situated for that. And let me also make sure this is ready for all of us. Please do understand that this is your opportunity to be the professor that you've always wanted to be, or doctor or teacher. So so you'll be able to give a report card rating home. Now I'll show the ratings. The ratings on the screen are definitely my ratings for these players, but we can always adjust them so that it fits more what the panel and what you say in the chat. So be sure to include what you want as your rating for these players as we go through the list. And we're going to start the list here. And let's bring this up. We're going to start this list with Ali. What was your rating for Ali? We're doing letter grades. If you put in like 80 or put in an 8 or whatever you put in there, trust me, I'm well enough versed to understand what that means. So I'll just like coordinate it or coordinate it with the ratings. But I put in a letter grade as being it so that it could be a little bit more universal. I know sometimes people will be like, oh, they'll give him a 5 or a 50, being he had an average game in their minds, but that's not a 50. Isn't if you were to come home with a 50 on your test paper, you would not be wanting to show that to your parents. So that is not average. So so again, if you think it's a C or a B, or you want to put 85 or 80 or 8.5, whatever you want to put, I'll be able to make the math conversions for us. But for Ali, let's just go through the list here. Go JK, Lee, Nalante, then to Brian. JK, what was your rating for Ali? Or we start with Lee. How about that? We'll start with Lee, since JK is on mute.
Okay, well, Ali wasn't called into very much service, was he, in the game?
No.
So,
had a few saves, but I could tell you a little something. I have little segments too. Because we're just giving ratings. We're gonna rock through the ratings. If there is a player that the panel wants to talk about, definitely talk at length on the player. But like we're just gonna give our grades so we can kind of make sure to get into the next segment. But yeah, Ali, solid performance. Although City mainly hit from long range, Ali kept them at bay and looked much sharper than his counterpart. Definitely. So, what was your rating for Ali yesterday?
I'll give him 83.
A B. All right, B. How about for you, Nalante? What would you give Ali?
C.
A C? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. Brian?
What do we say? 7 out of 10 was what I said earlier. So that's a C.
7 out of 10. Okay, so like a C.
Yeah.
Okay.
C.
Abdul had him at an 85, which is a B. Bernie had him at a solid 85, which is a B. And for Roar had him at an 8 for a B. Okay, a lot of B's for Ali. Handled well overall. Red Armchair Supporter gave him a B. Okay.
No, we could have had a jack chair out there yesterday, Allison.
Yeah, let's give him a let's give him a B minus, I guess, because everyone had him. I didn't think he'd have that much to handle. I mean, even the shots he had to take on were kind of like, yeah, just whatever. But okay, moving on. Trent Alexander-Arnold. I know this is going to probably ruffle some feathers here. Trent Alexander-Arnold his defense work was shaky. moment saw Doku literally leave him on the ground, but Salah had to rush back and give him a little recovery of help. But he held his own here and there, considering that he is working his way back to fitness. What would you have given him on his report card? Let's start with Alante this time. Alante, what would you give him Trent yesterday?
Oh,
It's gonna be a tough. I know it's gonna be a tough rating.
oh, D. I'll give it. Oh, he's lucky. He's very lucky, but D.
A D. Okay. How about for you, Brian?
D minus.
D minus. Yeah. Lee.
I didn't think he was that bad. Can I give it out of 100?
Yeah, do it.
82.
82.
Yeah, out of 100. Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
Wow. Big up to Trent. The brown envelope being paid off the league. By the way. Wow.
Trent's got a friend in life with Lee.
Trent's like give me a little wink and nod there. There you go, Lee. Get it in. Get it in. All right.
He wasn't embarrassed or nothing by Doku, was he, at any point? You know, it weren't like that. Yeah, Doku had to go at him, but he wasn't embarrassed by him or anything. It wasn't like a piss poor performance. I thought he was okay.
All right. How about for you, JK?
I'll give him a 70, bro. Clean sheet. Got skinned a few times, but you're gonna get that Man City away, you know.
Yeah. Let's see what the Trent ratings were like in the
It
chat.
happens when you're a full-back. You get beat to pace sometimes by the winger. This does happen in football. It's not a rare phenomenon.
Anthony gave him a 65, which is a D. Bernie gave him a 65, which is a D rating. Abdul gave him a 7.5, which is a C rating. I think that's all that was given in there. All right. I gave him a D rating as well. I think that's where we're gonna have to sit him at. Actually, is a D rating, despite the Russian judge that gives him like some high rating or something there. Okay. But it's all good. It's all good. I get it. I mean, you just showing some Scouser love. That's all. Some Scouser love. That's good. I get you. Told him. Oh, did he? Told him off. I didn't see that. I didn't see that, Bernie. Ibu. A rock at the back, covering for our right back at times, dealing with every challenge thrown his way. What was your rating for Ibu? Let's start with Brian this time, and then we'll go down the line.
A B. Yeah, a B.
A B. What was it? Solid B. Delonte?
B minus.
B minus. All right. Lee?
B6.
Okay, that's a B. I got you. JK, how about for you?
Yeah, I'll give him a B as well. Yeah.
A B? All right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I gave him a B minus, but I'll be willing to bump that up to a B. Because it seems like you even got an A from Anfield Roar, an A from Red Armchair Supporter, a B minus from Abdul, a B from Cedric, and a solid B from Bernie. All right. It's a B it is, brothers and sisters. A B it is. All right. Big up, Ibu. How about for our captain? Yesterday? Let's start with JK on this one. JK, what was your rating for our captain? My captain, your captain.
If A plus. 10 out of 10. You can't get any better, bro. Captain's display. Yeah, captain's display.
All right. How about for you, Lee?
$89.
89. Wow. So he was only 3 points better than Trent Alexander-Arnold yesterday. Okay, all right. I got you. I love it. I love it.
No, I didn't give Trent 86. I gave Trent 83.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that. All right. Your rating. You're welcome. You're more than welcome to give whatever rating you like. Yeah. Nalante, how about for
Sorry,
you?
I'm stuck with the old methods of out of 100, yeah. But I thought
Yeah,
like
no worries.
Virgil was
It's all
an
good.
89.
I can do the math. I can do the math conversion. No worries.
Yeah, it's all right, Lee. A lot of people in the chat do using their own method,
Yeah,
but
they're doing their own methods.
so don't worry about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Back to his
How
old
about
self.
back to his old self? Yeah. Brian, how about for you?
Virgin A plus yesterday.
A plus. Oof, nice. I feel bad giving my captain a B plus. I'm gonna have to knock that up. All right. I just gave him a B plus primarily because he didn't have as much to do. Like he held it down, certainly, but it was like, it didn't seem like he had that much to do. But he still did a job. So let's give him an
That's
A-.
what the best make it look. They make it look like they're not.
They make it
busy.
look easy. Yeah, certainly. Very true. Very true. How about for Robbo? Whoa, Robbo. Let's start with Brian. Let's start with you on this one. Robbo.
D plus.
B plus?
D plus.
Oh, D plus. I got you. Okay. Okay. How about for you, Delante?
Trent's one, yeah, I'll change it to the D minus, so Robbo gets the same D minus.
D minus, okay. Lee?
Yeah.
Give it about
What's
85.
Robbo coming home with on his report card?
85, I'll give Robbo.
Oh wow, okay. All right. JK, what is your rating for Robbo?
I'll give Robbo, he played well. I'll give him a C.
A C. All right. There's some variety of ratings there. In the chat, we had Robbo getting a 75, which is a C from Abdul. Robbo got a D from Anfield Roar. Robbo got a C, a solid C, 75 from Bernie. Cedric gave him a D. Red Armchair Supporter gave him a C plus. I had him a D plus, but what are you guys saying? What's his rating?
D.
D? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Going the opposite direction. I was gonna give him a C minus, but okay. All right. D. Don't go to Brian's class with late. All right. Grav. How about for Grav? Delivered a smart pass in the fossilized path that set up Jones, even if VAR ruled it out. But was a little bit here or there on some of the defense yesterday. He still looks a little bit, maybe, I don't want to say leggy, but he still definitely is working himself back into the range that we saw earlier. What about Grav yesterday for you? Let's go with Nalante first, since he's all about gravy.
Gravy. Definitely went lazy gravy yesterday, was he? Definitely wanted lazy gravy. Put that Bisto on it. Gravy, I thought he was an in-betweener. I don't think he was at his best, but he was definitely better than he was at the last. So C. Solid C.
Yeah. Agreed on that one. Agreed. Lee, how about for you?
For me, I'll give him 90. Give him 90 out of 100. Yeah, he was good. Because we had a good day in midfield, and he was like one of the main reasons for it. We do get a week's rest, don't we, after Newcastle until PSG? So if he is feeling tired, at least we have that.
How about for you, JK?
For me, bro, Government better display all round. I'll give him a 75.
Okay. All right.
That's probably a
Brian?
C-ish. Yeah.
What did I do right now? B minus.
B minus. Okay. All right. Looks like let's see what the ratings were in the chat. C plus from Anfield Roar. Abdul gave him a B, 8 out of 10. 75 from Bernie for a C. C plus from Red Armchair Supporter and a B minus. Let's give him I'd say it's a C.
C, yeah, definitely a C. All the answers.
I'm sure it's a capital C.
12. By the way, what was sorry, I missed. What was Robbo's final rating?
Robbo got a D.
Oh, D. Okay, cool.
Alexi McAllister. McAllister, subtle, effective performance that managed to keep KDB quiet. Also, was very, very important on our corners and set pieces. What was your rating for Maka yesterday, JK? What was your rating for Maka?
Maka for me as well, bro. 80. I'll give him 80. He got stuck in.
Okay. All right. I see Kevin. I understand. We'll get into it. We'll get into it, Kevin. All right. You gave him a B. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'll give him a B, bro. Not right.
Lee, what was your rating for Maka yesterday?
I give him the same as Gravenberch out of 100, which is 90.
Oh, so you're an A. Okay, A minus. All right. Nolante?
Similar to Gravy, bit more C.
C?
C plus. So,
C plus. All right.
Yeah.
Irishman?
B.
B. All right. You guys are making this difficult for me to average. Because it looks like in the chat they went with a C plus from Roar. Anfield Roar gave him a C plus. Abdul gave him a C. Bernie gave him a solid B at 85. B minus from Red Armchair Supporter. Edward gave him a C. Kevin gave him 100. Okay. All right. Give him A plus plus on his paper. I think I gave him a C plus, but what rating is that going to be? Everyone gave him different ratings, panel included. Maybe a B minus, maybe.
Yeah. I guess, yeah. I mean,
he was solid yesterday. Solid performance. We'll give him
C plus
B minus, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
The player that got my player spotlight of the day, absolute dynamo in the midfield, I thought. His clever passing from the get-go won us a corner. Then he redirected, that he redirected perfectly for Salah's opening goal. Also ended up with a goal of his own that he ended up megging the City player. I forget the guy's name. He's what's his name? Kusanov.
Okay.
He went through Kusanov's legs. Yeah. Dom, what was your rating for Dom yesterday? Lee, go ahead. What was your rating for Dom?
92 out of 100.
92, A minus. Cool. Good grade. Hello, Jimmy. Big up. Welcome to the show.
We got Jimmy.
Red Armchair Supporter gave him an A plus from Anfield Roar. Okay. Abdul gave him a solid A as well, 95 out of 100. Dom got an A minus from Bernie. Got you. Oh, all right. A plus from Jimmy. How about for you, Nolante? What was your grade for Dom yesterday?
Can you come back to me? I'm just gonna work out which way I want to go. I'm just kind of deliberating.
Mm-hmm.
Brian, what was your rating for and any of these players? If you want to talk on them, they're still, you guys still have your player card to play. Brian, what was your rating for Dom?
I would say B.
A B. All right. JK?
I'm going to give him an A, bro.
All right.
Him along with Salah, a goal and an assist, that deserves an A for me. And the workload as well, bro. He was making runs non-stop. Could have had 2 assists. He looks like he's sort of landed right now. Now his consistency is key right now. He needs to do that again, what he did against Tottenham. I think after that Tottenham 6-3 away game, this is probably his best display in a red shirt as well. So for me, he's showing signs of a quality player. And for me, glimpses is not enough to be taken as a serious player. He has to do it more consistently. But for me, he deserves an A for that display yesterday.
Okay. Let's see if the chat. I think I got all the chat scores in there. So I gave him a B plus, but it certainly looks like he's getting an A for today. I'll give him an A. There's a couple of hundreds, and the 99.9 definitely helped out on his ratings. Let's see. Dom Lante, which ones do you want to chime in on him or no?
Yeah, you know what? I'll push it. I think I'll push it to an A. He had a good game all around.
Okay.
A minus. So yeah.
All right. And that brings us to our next participant in the ratings, and that is Curtis Jones. Cujo. You play me as a 9, and you get what you get, which is 9 results. Big up Curtis Jones. How were you feeling about Curtis Jones yesterday, Brian? What was your rating for him?
Yeah, I think just a kind of it's a role that's been found for him, with this like the Park Ji-sung kind of thing. He's a defensive attacking outlet for a big game like this. I think we found his little niche. Like I said before, you won't see this. We won't play this at home against Southampton or against an Ipswich or against, but in a big away game, it's shown us that we have an ability to do this. Maybe PSG away, we might see this again. Something like this. And yeah, he's found his little niche where he can get into the team, because it was always, how do you get Jones into that team without dropping one of the 3? Well, now he's got Jones into the team without dropping one of the 3, being Mac, Dom, and Grav. So it was a bit clunky the first time against Villa, but it really worked very well last night. Won't work in every game. Won't work against every opponent. But yeah, I think it shows tactical intelligence to be able to kind of come in and go, oh, okay, I get what you want me to do, and pull it off, especially against a big team, against like City, big pressure game away at their stadium. So yeah, all around really, really impressive. Just sort of the whole like taking to this role and understanding and playing it and doing a great. Like he didn't rip the world, he didn't tear the world apart, but I just thought he did a really good job in this new thing. So yeah, B. Like I gave most other players that did well a B, so I give him a B as well.
Okay. All right. Nalante?
Yeah, Curtis, man, I think he gets a little bit slept on a little bit. I don't think he should be sold, if I'm honest. I think he's a good player. He's had a decent season. I think he's just sometimes. Yesterday he was an example. He could have done bits and bobs better with the ball, in my opinion. But the work rate and the running, and obviously decided to get up. So he's good when he wants to be. C.
Okay. Lee?
I enjoyed Curtis's performance as part of the overall tactic and that of the match. His role in it was excellent. Good with him being a local lad. Yeah, I like Curtis. Obviously, he's a local lad. So yeah, I'll give him a good score. I'll give him 90. Same as Maka and Ryan. Only Dom got a couple of points higher in midfield. They all basically get a 90 from me, the midfielders.
How about for you, JK?
I'm gonna pull out my player card on this one.
Okay, all right.
Well, you know, when Curtis scored and he did he sort of didn't score, the emotion and that, come on, let's get it done or whatever. That for me was the turning. I like that in a player, bro. A bit of passion.
Yeah, he got the other players going, didn't he, with this celebration? They all joined in happily, didn't he? Like when he got
you know what happened though, Lee? City ended up going. Mamouche had that chance. After that, all in all, bro, I think Curtis's display since the Everton red card. I was joking about we want to see that sort of passion on the field, and yesterday he showed that. I think him adding to the midfield three sort of helped them, and I think the midfield needed looking at. I think adding Curtis to it was a sort of a bit of a how do you call it? Like a miracle moment from Slot. I think just a basic sort of change in the way we play and added someone and taking someone away. Formation sort of added to it. I'm going to give Curtis a 9 out of 10. I just liked his energy yesterday. Played really well as well. Him and Trent, even though Trent got skinned, seeing the two Liverpool lads playing well makes the team play well, you know. So for me, fair play to you. Did you see when
McAllister went down? When McAllister went down for a while, and some of them went over to Slot, on the sidelines, he was really talking to Curtis, wasn't he? Quite intently. You know, he was really getting something across to Curtis. You could see that, and Curtis was talking back to him. But he wasn't happy at that point, because that was quite early on. He was still a bit...
Yeah.
I don't think it was working.
But I had a funny feeling the day before that Curtis might get a look in. Just had a funny feeling that, you know what, Jones might start. I didn't know he was going to be at an expense of an attacker instead of a midfielder. I didn't know that, but I just had a funny feeling Curtis might be starting against City. Look, at the end of the day, Curtis has been there a long time, and the managers, Klopp and Slot, seem to like him because they've played him in big games and stuff.
He's got to stay fit, not be having injuries, not be having not be having periods out as much. If he can stay fit, he's got a massive part to play.
He's got a good attitude, bro. He's a good professional, top lad.
Not many deficiencies in his game, he's got a lot as a player, Curtis.
He's good at running in the box late. That's what he's good at. He's like Frank Lampard does it, running in the box late. He does it quite often. He didn't get picked out quite often, but all in all, I think Curtis's display. He needs to carry on doing this now, bro. I think he's past that stage where we could sell him tomorrow. He's on that level right now. Because for me, I said at the start of the season, him and Darwin, it's a big season. Both doing okay, but they haven't set the world alight. But for me, Curtis's display yesterday, keep it going, bro. That's how you're going to stay at Liverpool.
Yeah, it was one of the most pleasing aspects of it for me yesterday. That Curtis was able to play such a really prominent role in it, I just really enjoyed it. So I was pleased for him. Boom, boom, boom. And on we go.
I wish he got that goal. I wish he went offside. 3-0 would have been nice. Jones and some offside scoring would have been good for our midfield.
All right. Well, Lee chimed in on
that, Kevin?
part.
Kevin was like, yeah.
I think it's
Jones a good mark.
Yeah, for sure, agreed. All right, so Curtis got a lot of C's from the C's and C minuses. I think Abdul gave him a B. I'm going to say, did everyone got their grades in, right? I think so, right? For Curtis, yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, up on mine.
Yeah.
Okay. So I gave him a B minus. That's cool. Maybe a C plus.
I think B plus is cool. I think
B plus. I get it.
Yeah. B minus looks like he had
C's.
I think a B plus, bro. I reckon his energy, his spirit. Yeah, man.
Energy and
I
spirit.
give him a B anyway. I give him a B.
Nah, he was good. He was good, but I think he was solid. He wasn't spectacular.
Okay.
I think he was just solid.
I think if we lost, different story. But we won 2-0 away to City. That's what I'm taking into consideration by giving these ratings. It's the opposition as well, bro. That's
I'll
what I
give
was
him a
saying.
B.
It's
I'll
away
give
at
him
the
a B.
Etihad. We ain't won there in 10 years, bro. And he was part of the team that did.
Incorrect, JK. Incorrect. We haven't won there in 36 hours.
36 hours. Okay.
All right, then I'll give him a Z.
We've reset the record now. We've reset the.
Yeah,
You know that
yeah.
it's like that thing in The Simpsons. You know, hours since a victory at Man City. We've reset that clock from 10 years to 36 hours now.
There you go. That's better. Sounds better. Get a double over him. Happy days.
4-0 on Ag. 4-0 on Ag in the league.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
How about for Lucho, real quick? Lucho, let's rock these out real quick. Lucho, JK, what was your rating for Lucho?
80, B. I'll give him a B. I think kept hold of the ball when we needed him to. He's the best at it. Warrior, bro. Don't stop. I like Warrior. I like his song as well.
Okay, okay. Lee, what's your grade for Lucho?
85.
Okay. Nolante?
C.
C. Brian?
CC.
Okay. 2 B's, 2 C's. Lucho got a D from Anfield Roar. Lucho started the game lively. His impact diminished, but he did have a really good shot on goal that made Ederson have to reach for it to save it. I'm a C minus. So B's, C's. Let's see. C, senor. C, senor.
CC Peniston.
Salah, the Egyptian king.
Straight
What are
A's
you
from
rating?
anyway, for me.
Yeah.
Straight A's.
A for the Egyptian king from Irishman. Lee, what's your grading for the Irishman?
For me, oh.
I'll give Mo an 88 out of 100.
Okay. How about for you, JK?
Salah, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, is there a number big enough? You know? What a guy, bro.
He's getting
What a guy.
3,000. That's like, he thinks his name is Andre, apparently.
Yeah, I'm gonna start calling him Andre from now on, man. I'll give him 10 out of 10, A plus with a star. What a guy! What a guy! Top example for the youth players of the day of the world. Look at Salah, his mentality, his eating habits, the way he trains, the way he just smiles quite a lot, considering what he's probably been through in his life and that. Right now, for me, the best player in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Nolante?
MF.
What was that?
MF.
An F? Okay. All right.
And F for finishing. No, 12. And F for finishing City off.
There you go. There you go.
And I'll just elaborate a little bit. My one player, the last,
do it.
the 11 then. Look, man, I'm sorry. I'm just going to be boring. I'm going to be boring, guys. So apologize for the next 2 minutes. He ain't got it. When he came back, he said he ain't strong for the Premiership. He ain't got it. He ain't got it. Mo can't handle the Premiership. As my good old friend the Irishman said. Brian, can you mention the words you uttered about Salah? Some of the stuff that was said about him, please? You said it before, Brian. Can you just repeat those words again for me, please?
Gotta help me out here.
Yeah, Brian, can you know the words about Salah? Do you know the ones that you said earlier about Salah? You know, can you repeat the words that was the accusations against him? He was a,
A one season wonder.
That's the one, Brian. Brilliant. See? On the ball. Brian's on the ball. You see, once he in the run then, and after that, he can't dribble. Apparently he can't dribble. Apparently so. I mean, goals against Watford, City, Arsenal, Everton. I mean, you name it. Chelsea. I mean, you name it. But apparently, he can't dribble. I mean, he beat 3-4 men today. I mean, can't dribble. Apparently, can't score with his head. He scored goals with his head. I mean, what more can you say about this guy? The most disrespected player still by some parts of the media and the fan base, and then people want to start getting families involved. He's a horrible man, apparently. Oh, he celebrates Christmas. Oh my God, the curse is real. What curse? God don't
People
put curse on
who
no
can't
one, monsieur.
people who say can't
You little
dribble,
pump punts.
No,
Nobody
Nolante,
can really
Nolante,
say
to quote one of our more esteemed content creators, Nolante, one of the Liverpool, don't show me GA, show me performances. I think that was around October. That person has changed their tune very, very rapidly. One of our more esteemed self-appointed experts, which we all are, I
Oh.
suppose. But
yeah.
Okay.
See, Bernie's
Don't
on
show
the
me
chat.
show me
Merson
performances.
says he's not world class. Where did Merson get that from? He's turned into a bit of a dickhead in recent years, Merson. I know he's frustrated that we're ahead of Arsenal and all that, but did he really have to come out with that? He's made himself look silly saying that. I mean, because he's even higher profile than Deeney. Deeney's only on like the radio or whatever, and that mainly. And Mason's always on bloody Sky. Like, so for him to come out and say that out loud, he's made himself look a bloody idiot, hasn't he?
That's fine, Lee, and it's just going to continue. But that's fine. That's fine. The disrespect, FIFA, UEFA, whoever it is, but that's fine. We know what he brings to the table. I mean, people saying they don't want the children seeing it, but that's fine, Christmas and all that, but that's fine.
Mason was his face when Michael Owen scored against Argentina in that World Cup game in '98, because he was on the bench for England, and it was his face, and with the others and that. Like, it was really good. It was the only thing I've ever enjoyed about Paul Mason. Although he was a skillful player, he was a decent forward, all that jazz. He's disgraced himself there. He's saying Mo isn't world class. Everyone can see he is. I mean, yeah, it can't be one saying anymore than that.
Yeah, well. But yeah. I'll just finish off quickly, 12. I know you want to get to the subs quickly and that piece, and I'll just like to say, Mo, keep on doing your thing. The hate is hate, and the ball is ball. The
Give
cream
him $500,000 a week.
rises. Yeah, Jake.
I'm telling you now, bro. Give him $500,000 a week. We're not buying anyone. Give him that money, man. Come on. You ain't replacing that anytime soon. That number of goals and assists. Come on. Who's doing that in the world right now? Only he is. Best player in the world right now. Give him $500,000 a week for 2 years, job done. Even if he's half as good next season, he's still going to be a player, bro.
Exactly, Jake. No, I think that, JK, that's another discussion. But my last point with Salah is that people going about, the stats, rants and bants, and this Man United and this person, this pundit. Did you see his performance yesterday? I don't even care about the goals and assists yesterday. I don't care about that, if I'm honest. His performance was a world-class performance. The running, someone said he doesn't have game intelligence. Do you see the movement? He was pulling players left and right, dribbling against three man. And people tell me about stats. Get out of here, man! Get out of here, man!
You know what the door is.
It was nice when he got away
exactly,
from that,
man.
and just outpaced them then, but he couldn't manage to score. But it was nice the way he got away from Ake. You could still see his pace there, couldn't you? He had too much for Ake.
Strength, passing, yeah. But anyway, 12, I'm done, sorry. I'm done with Sally. You know what my rating is, so let's move on.
Yeah.
I met Paul Merson once. I should ask him there and then, do you think Salah's going to be the best player in the world in 10 years?
All right, we'll go real quick through the subs here. I even start off by just finding my grade, and then you guys can go and tell yours. Kwanzaa yesterday.
Yeah, nice. Came on, did a job. Was on for a few minutes.
Okay. Let's see. Simicast.
Yeah, D.
D.
Yeah, bang on.
Mm.
See
the
2
Ds.
minutes.
And
B.
Watoto Endo
B.
gave him a killer B spot, like
There you go.
Wu Tang.
Wu
Gave him-
Tang.
Exactly.
Gave
Jeez,
him
come
the
on.
Wu Tang.
Come
He gets
on,
the
Wu
killer
Tang.
bees.
I don't know what's that channel he's
Yeah,
asking
he's
about.
talking about Egal. He's talking about Egal.
All right, okay, there. Sorry.
And
That's how it
egal in German means it don't matter.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
thank you,
It don't
JK.
matter.
I'm
There you
gonna
go.
put it on his page. Don't worry.
Yeah. That's a great segue, actually. I'm gonna bring up Bernie's comment in a second.
Cool.
But make sure I start there. But Elliot, Cody, they didn't play long enough to get a real grade, so I didn't put them in there. Our coach's rating,
The main
real quick.
man.
The main man. I had him at an A-, but what was your rating?
Yeah, fine.
A
Yeah,
minus.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. 12. Yeah. No problem with that.
A plus
I'm
for
gonna
me.
give him an A. The minus makes it look horrible.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Give him a
It's
plus
fine.
I gave him a 90 out of 10. A 90 out of 100.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But if you want to give him a 95, that's cool.
Just
Slot that.
just
A plus.
you know,
For
one
me,
thing.
the perfect away display by a Liverpool team this season. I'll give him an A plus. Didn't
Uh-huh.
concede. Had 33% possession of the ball, and still got a 2-0 win away to Man City. A plus for me.
Okay.
He did to them what Forrest did to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a shout.
I think it's
very
brilliant.
good shout.
Bang on, Brian. Bang on.
Well, Brian and Guy, did you know that picture yesterday? That reminded me of a Josie-esque, a prime Josie. That's what the prime Chelsea used to do back in the day. You know, your fellow Irishman, Robin, and then, Makaleli. That was a prime Josie-esque and fair play. And one thing I will have to say to Slot, I remember hearing someone, this was on DR Sports, and it's so true. And he was a United fan who begrudgingly, I can't stand him, but he was real. He said, Slot, people want to go about what this team, people want to hate, oh, this team, Liverpool are this and that, we're bored. But you know what? The good thing about Slot is, and this is one of Klopp's biggest problems as well, that cost us on certain things, as good as he was, Slot can adapt the team to any tactic. He can play control, he can go long, he can do low block, he can be attacking, he can adapt to any formation, any tactics. The team is an all-rounded balance, and that's what makes it so good. The adaptation of this team.
Yeah. He's a top coach. He's a top coach.
He's a Virgo.
That's what I
Virgo.
realized. Yeah, when I watched the game yesterday back for the second time, I watched it closely and I saw, you know what, this guy, and this is what your coaches want to do. You don't want him to play one way. He can adapt to changing it to different styles, and that's what makes certain coaches rise to the top. So fair play to Slot. Fair play.
Yeah, I was pleased for him on a personal level yesterday, because it must have been enjoyable for him to go to Pep, and City, and win like that. It's a good one for a minute, yesterday.
All right. So who's your man of the match yesterday? Everyone knows my man of the match since he got the player spotlight, but who's your man of the match? Man of the match, people. Put your man of the match in the chat. We'll just go down the line here. JK, Lee, Nolante, then Brian. JK, who's your man of
That's
the match?
Virgil for me anyway. I have to answer the door.
Okay, Virgil. We'll go then reverse order. Virgil for Brian. Nolante, who's your man of the match?
Kimmo.
One for Mo. Lee, who's your man of the match?
Sobo.
Okay, one for Dom. JK, who's your man of the match?
Ooh, there's a few to mention. But I'm going to go with Salah, bro. The guy was a warrior yesterday. Yeah.
2 for Mo, 1 for Verge, 2 for Dom from all of us on the panel. 3 3 for Mo now with Bernie. 4 for Mo from Anfield Roar. Shouting out. Dom gave Dom one, so it's 4-3. Let's see. Who else? Ibu got a shout from Callum. Okay. Abdul, you have to pick one. I can't give it to all three of them. All right. Let me correct this too, because I have mine in there, but I'll make one for everyone. Give me 1 second. And then I have some funny spots to show. Some pretty funny spots. Then our banter section is going to start. So hopefully you'll stick with us for that. It'll just be fun. We still got like 15, 20 minutes left of the show. I am going to put in. One second. I'm going to make it so it's for what's been voted. What has been voted as our man of the match. Even though it wasn't my man of the match, it is the people's man of the match. So give me 1 second to make it work. 1 second. 1 second. All right. So, man of the match is. No drum roll needed because he's been pretty much man of the season for us so far. And that is I'll show you mine. Mine was obviously Dom as being my man of the match, but the people's man of the match is Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah gets the people's man of the match. Big up to him, and big up to all that voted and helped us out with this one. It's much needed to get through. There were some cool picks I wanted to include in this. I think this is Doku realizing, what am I doing, man? You can see the smile on his face, like this guy.
Good still.
This one was a cool one to see too. Shout out to those, even though that didn't play. Shout out to the brethren. Shout out to Darwin, giving shout out, sticking behind, showing love to the fans who were definitely still chanting his Nunez name. Very supportive of the man. Big up to them. And what else? There was one other thing. Oh, and I wanted to bring up this. So this was something I said was a good segue. And that was what Bernie had to say. It's great to see all the TV pundits who said Arsenal or City would win the league, and they're all backpedaling now. Well, it's funny you said that, Bernie, because I just happen to have a graphic that showed just that. And I'm going to bring this up right now. These are all the pundits on BBC that picked first place. Pretty much the only one that had the only time we even got a remote shout was from Farrah Williams, and surprisingly, Stephen Warnock gave us a second place showing in his top four. But everyone at BBC, whether it was Theo Walcott, whether it was Danny Murphy, whether it was Troy Deeney, whether it was Joe Hart, whether it was Ashley Williams, Chris Waddle, this list just goes on. Sue Smith, Steve Sidwell, they all had either Arsenal or Man City winning this title. And it's kind of funny because Man City is battling for top four, and it's Arsenal that is solely in second place, trying to hold on to just that. It's a very interesting league. But I
Not
will say
one, bro. Not one Liverpool
not
mention in
one
first.
pun there.
Jokers,
Not
fam.
one. Yep.
You know, and that's why all these guys are on TV. Anti-Liverpool, bro. There you go. The proof's in the pudding right there. The facts are there.
Mhm.
Not one has said Liverpool to be number one.
Yeah.
Tells you everything about the way England views Liverpool as a club. But fair play. It's nice being that list. Not seeing Liverpool there. It is what it is. And Liverpool have just sort of told them, up yours.
I will say this. Kevin was asking about the self-proclaimed Arsenal prophet. I will say this to all of our to Gunnar Lee, aka I don't even want to give him the grace of saying Liverpool Lee. Okay.
No, he's not, man. He's another faker.
Yeah. To let's see. To Gunnar Souls, especially to Gunnar Souls, who was still tweaking and twerking on Footy Mo channel there about how his team is still a team to be reckoned with and how they're going to be there. He was the same one that was on some they're the hunted have become the hunter, and how Odegaard is going to lead his team back to the promised land. Well, I can say this. I can certainly say this. Arsenal's best shot at a Premier League title is Odegaard behind the camera, capturing us lifting it high while they're stuck taking selfies. Because that's where we sit. 11 points clear of Arsenal right now. One hand firmly on that title, one step closer to lifting it up and having Mr. Odegaard there taking photos. It's about as close as you'll get wearing an Arsenal kit in seeing someone do that feat. So big up to all the mighty Reds out there that had faith, that believed in this team, believed in this club. Big up to those that, hey, to be honest with you, big up to those that recognize the fact that, hey, it takes a team. It's not about individual efforts. It's all about team when it comes to getting across the line. And that's what we've seen. Mohamed Salah has been a very integral part of this team, obviously, but it's not him alone on that pitch. There's 10 others that are all putting in the effort and into getting us across the line. And then you include that of the substitutes that show and play, whether they're squad players, fringe players, it does not matter. It's about the team effort and about the concerted effort of getting us across the line. And kudos to those that really do believe in this club and this team and how the effort is important from all aspects of every one of these players, no matter what it brings to the fold. As long as you're contributing and pushing us in the right direction, you deserve to be applauded and appreciated. And that's what I like to say on here. And then you get, and hey, you know what? You get your big opportunity to get your picture taken by Mr. Odegaard. Hey, right, Gunnar Souls? Yes. Can't help myself, as Pops would like to say, but it's worthy of it, considering all the chatter you hear from these Gooners, all the chatter you hear from, wait, let me scroll and make sure I get this team's name right. Got to scroll up. Okay, Manchester United, I think they're called. All the chatter you hear from these guys out there, all proclaiming to tell us what we need with our team and what we need to do with our club. And, oh, you're this, you'll bottle that, you'll bottle this. Hold that. 11 points clear. Let's get this thing done. Let's get it across the line, and let's make this happen. Let's definitely make this happen. So, how you guys feeling? You guys, anything you want to say before we tidy up, turn on the red amber light there. So it's all about closing time for us for this episode, but wanted to make sure that we do have a opportunity to recognize of what we have coming up. We have Newcastle coming up, by the way. We do have Newcastle coming up. Yeah, that one's good. That one's good. Red Armchair Supporter has some really good ones. But yes, what is it that you guys like to say? Any final thoughts from you, Lee? Any final thoughts? Anything you want to say to the people?
Thank you, Manchester, for hosting us so graciously in yesterday's downpour of rain. Thanks for the points, and thanks for the trophy that will be taken out of your trophy cabinet in May.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, if Man City is allegedly sometimes able to buy their trophies, they're trying to buy them certainly this year or last year and the years before that. But hey, they'll have to manage. Well, they're gonna have to look for the receipt on that one, because this one is certainly not going to have blue ribbons on it. Brian, anything you want to say to people? Any final thoughts?
Well, as you said, it's closing time and terrible music puns. You know, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So see you all there.
All right. Nolante, anything you want to say?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and adults of all ages, thank you once again. Liverpool Tough Man podcast. Most of the hosts, Tough Man, the man from Arizona, putting in the work, putting in the grind, got his mind right. He's on it. Go like, share, and subscribe. Also blesses us to the Irishman, the fine Irishman. He can debate. He can counteract with you. Don't be upset by his Irish charm, his Irish humour. He's only just debating with you. That's the Irishman. You've got the inside of the most of the hosts, the inside man, Lee. Though he won't like to tell you, but he's got the inside scoop. He's near Anfield. He can give you the latest. And we've got our European correspondent, JK. Germany, Italy, Portugal, wherever he is, JK can say Auf Wiedersehen. He can give you some German lingo. He's got the German inside, JK. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to bless you in the channel. Thank you for all. We're in Armchair, Kevin, Bernadette, the lovely Bernadette, all of you on this red weekend. And I will leave you like this. Mo scored the first, Sobbo scored the second. Liverpool FC roll, and we're going straight to heaven. Arnie Slot, the slot machine rolls on. Liverpool FC, first place. We are the ones rolling on. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, arrivederci, sayonara, bon voyage. Good night. In the words of our illustrious manager, boom!
There you go. JK, you got something to say to the people? That's tough to follow, but you're in Germany. You're in Germany with the man himself. So there you go.
You know, happy days, bro. Right now, it's the best. We're the best in the team in the world, but nothing's won yet. So I'm not going to celebrate properly until it's confirmed mathematically. But right now, we had a top weekend. Happy days. Look forward to the Newcastle game on Wednesday.
Yeah, Newcastle in our sights. We move to our next opponent, and that's Newcastle at Anfield. It's a matter of not looking too far past ourselves in the sense of thinking that this is, in the bag. It's more so we still got work to do. This is JK just said. So let's get the work done. Let's do this good work. And yeah, Let's make sure that we take some of the Newcastle divers and make sure that we put them to rest, in that we can move past them and move on to the bigger and better things that we want to get onto, which is lifting trophies and possibly seeing them again, or not possibly, certainly seeing them again for the trophy that we'll have to go against them in that League Cup. So again, people, big up everyone joining us today. We'll be back tomorrow. Great episode as always, because you guys were a part of it, and I appreciate that for sure. Be sure to, like, if you are on those other channels, or you do want to try to see us get some type of appearances by, your Egals or your Mike Dosses, or even your Monts of the world, be sure to give them a shout. Say what's good, ask them on our behalf if they would like to join. They're more than welcome. Or if they're even more willing to possibly have one of us from the panel represent on their show, even better. Maybe we can stop some of the nonsense that some of them are always spouting out. But with that said, we are going to end it on a positive note to say, up the Reds as always. Top of the league to every one of my Mighty Reds, whether you are in the good graces or not in our good graces. All the same, Mighty Reds, recognize. And we'll see you tomorrow. And until then, as always, like I said, up the Reds, people, up the Reds. Take care, be safe, and see you tomorrow.